So, last time we fought our way into the cave at the rear of the cultist camp and fought through a room full of cultists in their barracks and discovered the chamber of Frulam Mondath, who you know to be a high-ranking official, not the leader. The leader of this branch, the Black Dragon branch of the Horde of the Dragon Cult, is Rezmir, who you still have not seen, but she's definitely, Mondath was a high up. And she is currently unconscious in the jaws of a large brown bear. The room, the walls are just rough-hewn cave. There are a couple of desks in the room with just papers and different things on them. And kind of in the back corner of the room, you can see a carpet that has been kind of torn, that used to be on the ground but is sort of folded back, revealing a hole in the floor. That is this little area right here. So, what do you do?
I approach the bear with caution, say, "Easy now. Easy now. Let her go. Let her go. Hey, drop it. Drop it."
Do I still retain my personality?
Yeah, but you can't talk or anything.
I'm gonna look at him with a little bit of disdain and then drop her.
Flump, flump. She flops to the ground.
I'm going to try to push past everybody, and with a look of rage on my face, I'm going to try and kill her.
Whoa,
Okay.
Easy now. Do I see him, like, approaching her in an aggressive manner? I mean, would I be able to discern that easily?
Well, hold on. I mean, since he said that first, it seems like you can obviously see he's approaching, but what exactly do you do when you try to kill her, Gore?
I pull up my dagger and try to stab her in the neck.
Okay. Since you may not have been expecting Gore to do that, I'll say that you can attempt to make a dexterity check to see if you're quick enough to stop him, but it's going to be at disadvantage.
Alright, disadvantage, dexterity.
Do I have to roll my dexterity?
Yeah. You just roll it normal.
What does that mean? Oh,
Just roll a dex check. No skill necessarily added. That's a saving throw, but I think the result is the same.
Are you sure?
No. I'm not sure.
Let me roll the unskilled.
Okay, well, either way, you are
That's
fast
even
enough.
worse.
You are fast enough. And so that is you successfully stab her, and she looks dead. I mean, but for the mechanics of the game, that's... See, I'm not sure if I should treat her like a PC and give her death saving throws, or if she should just be dead.
Well, bit of advice. If it helps the story along, treat her as a PC. If it's fine that we kill her or wasn't as important, treat her as an NPC.
Yeah, I kind of want there to be consequences to your actions, so if she had a whole bunch of important stuff to tell you and you just wanted to kill her anyways, then, too bad.
Oh, man.
But
I was going to run up to her and be like, push. I was going to do.
Yeah, I think from now on, I'm not going to give, even if they're bosses, death saving throws and stuff. It just seems too fiddly for PCs. So yeah, you slit her throat. She bleeds out horribly all over the floor through her last kind of death rattle gurgles, and you stand atop her lifeless body.
I'm gonna roar in frustration.
There's no way that I can run up to her quickly and heal her before all that blood flows out, is there?
No, I mean he stabs her in the neck. You try and stop her, and I mean she's dead, unless you have some sort of restoration, like.
Well, I only stabbed her. I didn't slit her throat.
Well, yeah, but she was already at 0 hit points.
All right, and
Technically, that's a coup de grace, so it's double damage.
Yeah, she's deader than a doornail, as they say. But I'll give you a point of inspiration for that, because it makes sense that you would do that in your situation.
All right. As I pull out the knife, I say, 1 down, 2 to go.
What are you, crazy? We could have gotten valuable information from this one. She didn't have to go like this. We could have turned her into the proper authorities.
I don't care about your information.
Roar!
You just need to slow down.
Slow down. She killed my family. How would you react to that?
Your family? How do you know she killed your family? What happened?
It's a long story.
One I'd like to hear soon, but for now we do have other matters at hand.
Huh?
Sorry, trying to put the kids down. It's difficult. Summer vacation and all.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. All right, so Mondath is dead. You're all standing around looking at her. What's the next step?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and rifle through the papers on the desk. Most of it is really, really bad poetry about dragons. And there are a couple of other weird little drawings and things, but you do find of note 4 interesting letters written out, or some half written out, that I've put in your inventory there, and I'll just read them real quick since we don't have everybody here, and to make sure that, well, this is kind of important information. I wish everybody was here.
Too bad.
Yeah, I just don't want to have to re-explain it. They can read them whenever they want. Anyways, the first one you see, it just says Linnathon at the top. And it says, Mondath, the full Linnathon, has agreed to aid in the siege of Greenest. He's very reluctant and may give you trouble or not show up at all. I had to offer him the Winter's Heart to get him to help, and I think that he only half believed I would give it to him, which of course I will not. Were it not for the mask, I wouldn't have been able to convince him or even gain audience with him in the first place. He's stubborn and only cares for his personal hoard, but he's the only dragon with a lair near the green fields. Resmir. Let's see. The next one is.
I see them all. Everything. Yeah, I'll read them since
Okay.
I'm the one rifling through them.
Yeah. Good call.
Mondath, everything goes according to Severin's
Severin.
plan. When we meet again, I can tell you more details, but for now, secrecy is paramount. Gather all the treasure from the towns of the Greenfields and amass it at a camp I've set up. Take the bulk of your force against Greenest, as it's the only town with a defensible keep and likely the largest treasury. Mondath, the half-elf monk, has been tracking our activities. I fear he may be a harper. Find out what he knows, then kill him. Our plans must not be compromised. neutralized. If you fail to capture him or he escapes, move to phase 2 immediately. Yourself and Cyanrath are to stay behind with a detachment to guard the eggs. They should hatch within a few weeks and are at a vital stage. If they are moved, they may die. Gentlemen, we may need to find some eggs, and we may need to take care of this. And lastly, Lang. Whoa, that's not even to her. Everything must be freighted north to Nairtar. Rezmir allowed us to keep some pearls, a ring, and a handful of stones from Frulam. Alright, gentlemen, and Bear. It appears that we might be able to recover some of Greenest's coin from this camp. We may also stand to dispatch a few dragons while we're at it, before they even hatch. There's no date on these letters, so I suggest we make haste.
Roar!
Then I'm gonna say a blessing over her body. It's a her, right?
It is a her, and the only thing she has on her is a halberd and some she has a purple colored half plate that will not fit any of you. It might fit Yalara.
Well, I'm gonna say a blessing over her body, and then I'm gonna ask, is anybody here hurt? Before we continue on.
I'm kind of beat up, right? In bear form.
You're somewhat beat up.
How
Well,
many
I'm
hit
gonna turn my
points
head
do you
and
have, and what's your maximum?
It's
Well, you're a bear right now, so you can only communicate in a series of roars.
right. Well, I'm
And
just
whimpers.
I'm gonna turn my head and lick my, lick my side and my flank where there's, a couple of gash wounds from weapon.
Is Julianne
I'm checking.
beat up at all?
Let me check here. I got so many things. Let's see here. Julian does not have a max hit point written down, so I have no idea. Oh, that's Gore. And I don't think Warland took any damage. Yeah, he's at full.
So it's just you, Bear. Let me check my cantrips here.
I mean, I know Julian has taken some damage, but he didn't write down his max hit points, so...
Holy crap, when did I get that? Is it? Hold on.
How long am I a bear for?
One hour.
So how long has it been?
Let's see. It has been... when you're not talking, let go of the button, please. It has been... Let's see, that was about 10 rounds. The fights did not take that long at all. I would say you've probably been a bear for about 20 minutes. Whoops. The four notes that the four notes I put in there are the contents of both desks. You found one, the one that was from her to Cyanrath, you found on the small desk, and the other ones were on the long desk. And there's a bed and a large mirror in her little bedroom alcove. Nothing really else interesting.
Do we have a map with Nairtar on it? Is that on the Sword Coast?
None of you have ever heard of a place called Nairtar, and it's not on the map.
User joined your channel.
Half of Alex's face.
You guys really like remind me by email if I forget to come.
I sent an email earlier today and you said meow, so I took that to mean yes, I'll be here.
Yeah, I just forgot.
It's Tuesday.
It's a Monday.
I feel you, man.
Okay, so I have a cantrip called Preserve Life. I cannot find it anywhere in this friggin' book.
Oh, I've heard of that. It prevents something dead from rotting, basically.
Oh, wait, no, here it is. Yeah, that's totally what I was going to do, but I can channel my divinity. So I'm going to...
Alex, you should be able to see. I haven't
Scroll
changed anything since
down.
last time. You might want to zoom out or scroll around.
Yeah, scroll down. Alright, so I don't know how much the bear's hurt. So I'm going to cast Preserve Life on the bear, and you can take up to 15 points of healing. So I don't know if that fills you out or not, since you can't exactly communicate other than roar at me.
So what do I need to add something?
Well, remember what I told you your bear hit points were at the start? Add 15 to that.
Okay. I think I'm a lot better, but I'm not all the way full.
Alright, I'm tired of standing
Well, that's
around
all
here.
you get.
Thank you. Wow. What other sounds do bears make? They snuffle. I'm gonna nudge my head against his shoulder and kind of do like a wet snuffle, like sound.
It's gonna feel a little awkward and be like, yes, good bear, and pat it on its head.
Alright, so
Or did
Mondath
you
is
say
dead. You found out
Yeah,
quite a bit of information from
I
her
didn't only
notes.
come here for vengeance, I came for the gold. And from the sounds of it, there's still some lying around here somewhere.
What was
Then
the-
might I suggest that you lead on? I see something directly in the tunnel to the north of us. It looks like a...
I checked, it's just the bed chambers. Do I see anything in here?
No, just the mirror and the bed.
Okay, I smashed the mirror.
Okay.
Just for the hell of it.
Disadvantage for the next 7 years.
Bad luck.
Alex,
Well, there seems to be a
all
hole
the
here.
info that they found in this room is in your
Okay.
is in handouts.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a hole kind of in the floor off to the east, and then there's back the way you came, and those seem to be the only two routes into or out of this room.
And is
That
there a
hole?
ladder or some climbing mechanism to get down?
There's not anything, but you can, if you just look into the hole, you can see that it's relatively sloped. You drop down about 6 feet, and then it kind of is inclined, so it's not necessarily a straight down drop into darkness.
Well, then I'm gone.
If
Okay.
Wait, if we go down, does it look like we'll be able to get back up again?
I mean, you can't see the end of the hole. You can't see the bottom, but it is inclined, and it's not such a steep incline that you couldn't climb your way back up. However, you don't know if there's a drop off at the end of the incline or what happens at the bottom.
I jump down it, but I try to plant my feet so I can control my descent down.
Okay. I'm going to.
Is there any type of check you want me to make for that, or
no?
Okay,
No,
cool.
it's pretty easy. Yeah, you can. Okay, good. I wanted to see if I could move people across this. What's up, Core?
What? I made it finally.
We have just killed the boss woman, the Frulam Mondath, the lady that was leading part of the cult, and found a bunch of papers on her desk that are in handouts that you can read if when you want. So Ander, you dropped down the hole.
I was
and,
more curious about what Mondath was holding.
all she had was a halberd and
Okay.
a set of purple kind of polished purple half plate armor that will not fit anyone except Yalara.
Okay.
And okay, so Andrew, you drop down and you can tell it's probably about a 45-degree angle, and it's just kind of carved into the stone, and there's plenty of footholds. It looks like it'd be pretty easy to just kind of walk down using kind of the wall to brace yourself on the way down.
all right? Just for future knowledge, everybody, I cannot see your hit points, so if you need help, say something, and I'm gonna walk down.
Okay, the rest of you see Ander just kind of disappear through this hole in the floor, and don't hear any screaming or anything.
Yeah, I'll just go down it with them.
Okay. Are you any of you trying to be particularly quiet? Hold on, don't move anymore, Ander.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to be quiet.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
I'm gonna try.
Well, if I'm not being very quiet, it's not going to do you much good.
Hey, one can hope.
Not with your roll.
Okay.
One can hope.
Don't move after I take you out of the hole. So, the rest of you left in the room with Mondath. What's everybody doing?
Is this hole big enough for
Yes.
bigger individuals like
You can
myself? and Julian to go
squeeze.
into? No offense, my friend.
You can squeeze through it. It's pretty tight, but you can make your way down.
Okay, well, I'm gonna walk over the edge and kind of stick my head in, kind of snuffle around a little bit, and then kind of muscle my head and shoulders in,
Okay.
and go down.
Warlin and Julian, you guys are in this room and you've seen everybody just kind of jump down this hole. Are you gonna...
Yes, I can't see the hole, but if you can tell me where it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. You weren't here when I showed the area. There's this little white drawing kind of area on the back of this room.
Yeah, could you move me wherever it goes?
Okay.
Thank you.
And
As
Warlin, are
everybody
you
keeps piling
following?
in here, I'm gonna be like, shh.
Sure.
I think there's something up here.
Well, just as you... There's not enough room for everybody. Just as you say that, you see a very large and angry looking man come charging at you. having heard your all's dissent. So, everybody roll initiative.
Apparently I tripped.
I almost tripped, but I came close. I recovered.
Just hold on 1 second while I try to remember how to fucking play.
We're still level 3, right?
Yeah, everybody's level 3.
Great. That means I have everything right. Long weekends, yo.
Alright, Ander, you see this very large, barbaric-looking man with a great axe come charging at you with it lofted high above his head, and he brings it down right at
I
you.
attempt to block it with my shield.
15 versus AC?
Nope, doesn't hit.
Okay. Clang, you successfully block it with your shield, and the great axe kind of rumbles, and whong, you can feel the might of his blow. Warlin.
What?
It's your turn. You guys are all kind of jammed up in this little alcove that the hole you went down dropped you out into, and a large guy is attacking Ander.
I'm gonna squeeze by Ander, go over here, and pull out my short sword and jab at this guy's ankles.
Okay.
And that didn't work. Why did that not work? Did they like?
Were you here? Yeah, you gotta fix your. They added a crit thing to the weapons now.
Oh, right.
So just put the same damage you have for your weapon in the crit damage slot.
Oh, okay. Well, would it be whatever my crit damage is, right?
It would be the same damage dice. Because you'd still have to add it together manually.
Yeah, it was a little confusing. I think we figured out that it was just the same as whatever your normal damage dice was.
Indeed.
And it will add that to your regular roll if you do crit.
It'll just add it to the table.
I think Warlin's arms are too short to attack.
Well, don't I have advantage though?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's right, you do.
Oh yeah, when you're when somebody else threatens, well, that means you get sneak attack damage. What gives you advantage?
I think it's because he's the enemy didn't attack yet, so he gets advantage.
Oh,
wait,
well, no.
The enemy
it's
did
because
attack.
you don't need advantage on attack roll if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet. So no, I don't. Okay, that's where it's at.
Yeah,
sorry,
but
it's been a while.
No problem.
I think you still get advantage though.
No, he would get sneak damage if he hits, but he doesn't get advantage.
Oh, maybe that's a later feature.
and he would get advantage if the guy hadn't acted yet, but the guy has acted. All right, Julienne.
Julian does what she does best. Makes mincemeat.
Mincemeat pie. This guy is proving very, very hardy and is just dodging blows left and right. Any movement?
That was my movement.
Okay. All right, Ylara, you're cramped up in this corner as a large-sized brown bear, so you're kind of like standing on your haunches at this point.
I'm just gonna move forward and see if I can get him.
Okay.
I'm trying to decide if I want to bite or claw.
Since you're large-sized, your movement speed's gonna be halved because to squeeze past these people it's difficult terrain, so you can only move 15 feet, which is gonna be 3 squares.
Or you could just knock us all over.
You could also do that.
Can I do that? Can I bowl everybody over?
But we'll be prone.
Yeah, you'll knock everybody down.
Okay, I won't bowl everyone.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I don't know though. If you're knocked prone, what happens to you? You can't fight. What happens to people when they're prone?
They have to use their movement to stand up. Half their movement.
Well, I mean, I'm stuck. I can't do anything.
It's still going to be difficult terrain if you're trying to knock people over.
I'm just gonna shoulder my way. I don't know who to knock up.
Well, at this point, you can't end your turn in the same space as another person. You can move through their space, but you can't end your turn, and so because of your movement, you're not going to be able to get up to next to the guy this turn.
Well, I'm just gonna roar with passion.
Okay. All right, Ander, you've just successfully deflected a blow from this guy.
All right. So, I don't suppose there's a way that I could sneak through Warlin and then up to here, is there?
Yeah, it's difficult terrain to move through.
Small, actually, you can walk over me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Then that's what I'll do, and I will take my mace out and try to bash him.
Okay.
Probably not.
Now, you feel him you hit him in the shoulder and you just feel him kind of flex and absorb the blow and just kind of grunt with it. Doesn't appear to have done any damage. Gore.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pull out my pike and attack from here. Center mass.
Wow, we suck tonight.
Yeah, that's not gonna hit him either. All right. Any movement, Gore?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So with the commotion, all of this kind of just happening at once when this guy charges you, you hear this really loud roaring voice come from deeper in the room. Ah, what goes on there? And you see hold on, 5, 10. You see come kind of sprinting from out of the darkness the 8-foot tall blue half dragon that you recognize as the one who challenged Gore at the front gate of the keep. You also see behind him, coming up alongside him, 2 more very, very large and meaty looking humans, all wielding great axes, who look very similar to the guy that's in front of you right now. And they're all kind of charging your way. As the one that's right in front of you, threatening you, spins back around to take another swing at Ander, because he's frustrated that he didn't land his first blow. And he crit fails.
Oh, yes.
So
Curious, did we rest at all?
not since last game.
Okay.
So as he kind of rears back to take a slash at Ander. Let me see. He completely whiffs and misses, and his axe gets lodged and completely buried in the floor right next to Ander's feet, and he's struggling to loosen it from the floor. He's kind of lodged in there. And looks like we lost Gore.
Hold on, I'll come back.
Briefly. Alright, Warlin.
Warland's gonna try to bing the pain train. Not today.
Yeah, not today. This guy is just is pretty quick and nimble on his feet. Your dart kind of swoop goes right past his nose and clinks against the cave wall. Julian.
Julian walks past this guy since he looks like he's no threat. He just dropped his weapon.
Yeah, he's still got it in his hands, but he's like, it's very lodged in the floor.
And goes for the real threat.
Okay.
Pray for me.
Yeah, the half dragon, even though he's very large, he's very nimble, and your butcher knife kind of does one of those like jump back as your butcher knife just barely grazes his stomach. All right, Yalara the bear, you now have a little bit more room to maneuver.
Yes, I have some room. I'm gonna charge up. How far can I go? Not far.
You can go 30 feet as long as it's not difficult terrain, and nothing that should be difficult terrain unless you move through somebody else's space right now.
I go diagonal. You have to go like.
You can move 6 spaces.
It's okay if they're diagonal.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna charge up to help Julian. Leave this guy in the ground for people back here.
Okay. So
Save me, my bear friend.
So you just go lumbering up. All right. Bitey, bitey, cloy, cloy. Yeah, your bite and your claw should have a plus to hit next to them, and so just roll a d20 plus whatever the to hit is. Did you roll the plus to hit?
What's that?
Do you see where it says bite or claw?
Yes. No, I didn't. Do I have to do it again?
No, just add that. Is it +5? Yeah, okay, so 23 will certainly hit. Go ahead and roll your damage. It should say what your damage is for that attack. Okay. Was that a bite or a claw?
It was a bite with my awesome bear teeth.
All right, your awesome bear teeth just bite him as he's kind of spinning to miss the blow from Julian. His tail kind of comes up and you just bite like the last half of his tail off and it falls onto the ground. And he screams out in pain. And I believe you have a claw or maybe even 2 claws. What does the bear say? Does it say multi-attack, 1 bite and 1 claw?
Oh, you can make 2 attacks. So I can do another one.
You can do 1 bite and 1 claw.
Okay, I'm a claw him.
Okay, another 23. Yeah, you bite his tail off and then just slap him upside of the head with your bear strength. Roll your damage. All right, for 8 more. So you slap him across the face and he just kind of glares at you. All right, Ander.
Righto. I'm going to cast Sacred Flame upon this guy.
Okay, is that a
cantrip?
Does he need a save?
He does. Dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Needs to make at least a 13.
He fails miserably.
6 radiant damage. You see a pillar of platinum-colored light descend upon the target. Radiant power fills that pillar. Target must make a dex saving throw. If not, take 6 radiant damage.
All right. You just see him kind of engulfed in this pillar of platinum light, and his skin starts to burn. Any movement?
I'm gonna go ahead. No, I'm gonna stay right here.
Okay. Gore.
I'm gonna strike with the pike again.
All right. And that's a hit.
All right.
Preoccupied with trying to free his axe from the ground and also being burnt pretty heartily. You jab him in the back.
And then I'm gonna rage.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Okay. I need some damage on that pike hit, though.
It's in the roll.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm also gonna move, I guess.
Alright, he rolls a strength check to see if he can get out. And just barely manages to free his axe from the ground, but that is his action. As the half-dragon, angry at the bear in front of it. Holy crap, he's got a lot of attacks. He slings his giant greatsword, bigger than a normal greatsword, straight at the bear's head. What does your bear say, your armor class or AC, Elara?
11.
Okay, yeah, that's a hit. For 10 damage.
Is that in the green or in the red?
That is on your piece of paper that you're keeping track of.
But it's on the red, too.
That's your human hit points. Your bear hit points are separate. So you started with 17.
And then I got 15.
Mark healed you for
32.
15.
So now I'm at 22.
22. Okay, keep track of that. And then he's so fast, even though the spear or the great sword is large, he kind of swings it down and then brings it right back up your belly. Ooh, crits. For 20 damage.
Okay, so I have only 2 left.
Yeah, you're looking pretty bad as a bear. Your kind of muzzle is like split in half. And then the 2 gentlemen next to him, one will go for Julienne. 14 versus AC, Julian? Nah, okay. And the other one will sees Gore coming up around the side and will charge towards him. And 11 versus AC, Gore? No, okay. Both of these guys are not nearly as adept as their counterpart, it would seem. And both miss wildly. Warlin.
Well, I'm just being left out here. I'm gonna slide over to this side and try to get this guy.
All right, that is a hit. You just barely
Nice.
managed to needle your short sword in there for a total of 11.
Finally.
And he kind of, as he gets stabbed in the side, still kind of reeling from the weight of pulling his axe out of the ground. Julian.
Julian, with a just disappointed look in her face, just gets some inspiration from the gut of her belly and just swings for it again.
And which one are you attacking?
Same target, the dragon.
Okay, that is going to be a miss. He evades your butcher knife yet again. All right, Yulara.
Okay, well, I can
You're
hardly
very-
see because of the blood in my eyes, and so I have a decision to make. Am I gonna face the possible end here and, like, try to attack him, or should I back away?
Well, you know that when you go
I just
zero
go back to
hit points as a bear, you'll just go back to your human form with full
Okay.
hit points.
So I really don't think about it because I know all this. So I'm going to attack him again.
Oh no. Critical fail. Alright. /R 1D100. $35. Oh, you drop your weapon. Okay, so nothing happens. But you don't hit him.
Can I try my claw attack?
You break a tooth off. Should be the same 1d20 plus 5. All right, you swipe at him, but since he moved out of the way from Julian's attack, he's not quite where you thought he would be, and you just managed to barely miss his head. Any movement?
I guess I'll back up here.
If you back up, you're gonna take some attacks. Attacks of opportunity for moving out of their threatening range.
What?
If you move out of an enemy's range of reach during your turn, they get free attacks on you, basically, unless you use your action to disengage. So,
Yeah, I'll just stay.
okay. Ander.
Alright. So, following the success of the Sacred Flame, I'm going to attack with my mace again. And hope it actually hits.
That
18
definitely
for
hits.
4 damage.
All right.
Then I'm going to look back at everybody and say, is everybody still doing okay? Because since my back's to them.
Right. You all hear Ander's voice crying out to ask if you need healing. No one seems to respond.
I'm gonna manage a week.
Julian just grunts.
Alright. That's all I can do this turn.
Oh.
Everything else is an action, so.
Okay. I didn't know if you had like a bonus action healing thing. All right, Gore.
I'm gonna attack this goon.
All right. That's a hit for 7. You stab him. He seems somewhat unfazed, and actually, Ander, you'd notice when you crack this guy over the head, he looks a little beat up, but for as much damage as you think you've done to him, he doesn't seem to be all that injured yet. And he will take a swing at you with his now freed great axe. 16 versus AC.
Hold on a second.
That's against Ander.
That hits. 16 is what my AC is.
Okay. For 8 damage. And the other guy will take a swing at Gore for 15 versus AC.
My AC is 15.
Okay, that hits. Right?
I don't know.
Andrew, you just said your AC was 16 on the dot, right?
Yes.
And so does a tie hits?
Ties hit.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, just making sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I take half damage because I'm raging.
Okay. So that's going
At
to
least
be
against slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning.
the slashing. So with it halved, you're going to take 6.
Okay.
The other kind of barbarian looking guy will take a slash at Julian. 18 versus AC. Julian
That hits.
for 9. And attempting to strike the killing blow on the bear, the half-dragon will attempt a slash with his great sword. And that's going to hit.
Julian starts whimpering in pain.
11, Yulara. I mean, you take 11 damage, so there were 2 on your bear.
Okay, so I'm a human.
Yeah, and then you'll take 9 damage as a druid. So you can go ahead and start subtracting that from your, actual. And he kind of looks very surprised as his bear turns back into an elven woman before his eyes. But that does not stop him from striking out at you with his great sword again. And that's gonna hit. Oh, Corey, I just saw your message. Yeah, just email me, since I don't have that yet. Email me what it is, but anything that's, yeah, you can use that. For 11 more damage, Yulara.
By the way, Ryan, this guy actually took 10 damage last time because I was raging. I forgot to edit it.
And what did I put?
It was 8.
Okay, so 2 more.
3 more.
Okay. Oh wow, Yulara, we leveled up your hit points too? You should have been at full.
I was at 21.
Oh, and he did 9 and 11. Yeah, okay.
It wasn't 8 damage on that guy, it was only 7. So 10, his full health minus 10 or whatever he had before.
Okay. Alright, back to Warlin.
This guy is not dead, I assume?
No, he doesn't even really look that bad.
I'm gonna keep going to town on him.
Alright, that's a hit plus your sneak. 8 more. Alright, you jab him in between the ribs again, and he winces in pain again. You kind of start to see him bleeding through that wound a little bit. Julianne.
Julian, with her last breaths, shouts, "I'll finish you, you scaly bastard," as she swings her butcher's knife at the dragon-like creature.
That's a crit.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Alright. So, that's going to be 24 damage.
Yes. Also, I'm at 6 health. If you care, Ender.
Alright, you just, that butcher knife just goes right in between the jaws of this half dragon as it's roaring and just kind of cuts back, and you give him kind of a smiley a la the Joker at this point. It starts gushing blood and kind of shrieking. Not looking too good himself. Alright, Yulara, back as an elven woman, and 2 giant gashes just down the front of your chest from his greatsword attacks.
I'm not doing well.
Since you didn't know about attacks of opportunity last time, if you move away from this guy, you'll get an attack of opportunity from him and from the person next to you, actually from both people next to you. You can use your entire action, though, to use the disengage action, which will let you move away without taking those attacks of opportunity. You can't attack if you do that.
So when you lose your hit points, what happens? You pass out or do you die?
If you get down to 0, you'll pass out, and then you got to start making death saving throws. If you fail 2 of those, or if you take any more damage, it could cause you to lose 1. If you lose 3 of those, you die. If you succeed on 3 of those, you stabilize, but you're still unconscious. It's basically, it's a bad idea to go unconscious if you can avoid it at all.
I think I should disengage. How do I do it?
Just say you're going to disengage, and then you can move up to 30 feet. But you're moving kind of carefully away from these guys, so they're not going to provoke. You're not going to provoke attacks from them as you move away. So you can move up to 30 feet. Okay.
I'm gonna go slump against a corner and kind of slide and sit.
Okay. All right, Ander.
One second. Ander's going to attempt to run and not disengage. So go ahead and make the attack of opportunity.
Okay. 16.
Damn.
For 10.
And he's going to place his hand upon Julianne and cure wounds at a level 2 spell. Which I'm just going to roll cure wounds twice.
Okay.
So I take that back. $17 points, hit points restored.
Cool beans.
Okay. Any further movement?
Yeah, I'm gonna head down this way.
Okay.
Over here, and end my turn.
Okay. Gore.
I'm gonna rage again.
As the large bear kind of turns into an elf woman who then slumps away, the blue dragon gets a full view of you and kind of looks surprised and says, "You, I remember you. I thought I put you down. I don't know if I'm disappointed or excited. Probably a little bit of both."
Yeah, I'm a little too busy to respond. Can I do a perception check to see why these guys can take such a big beating?
I mean, yeah, there's a bonus action. That's fine. Yeah, they're just really tough.
Okay.
In game terms, they have a whole lot of HP.
All right. I'm just gonna keep stabbing him.
Just keep stabbing.
All right. That's a hit.
13 damage.
13. Okay. And do you get extra attacks when you're raging?
No, not yet.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you skewer him kind of right through the leg, and he whacks back at you right as you do that. Another crit fail. Okay. You see him miss, and it looks like he's just, like, so frustrated and, like, can't handle the fact that he's missed you that he's kind of, like, going insane and starting to freak out. And he suffers the effects of a confusion. Immediately suffer the effects of the confusion spell, and I don't know that by heart. Unless anybody knows it offhand. I think he's going to start attacking everything in sight. Okay, he has to roll to determine his behavior at the beginning of his next turn. Okay, and let's see, the guy down here by Warlin will kind of turn and take a swipe at him. 23 versus AC.
That's a hit.
For 12. And this guy will stab it. Take a slash at Julian. .22 versus AC. It's probably a hit. For 7 against you, Julian.
Okay.
And then seeing the target that he thought he bested, the half dragon will move down here next to Gore and attempt to slash with his great sword. That's a hit. For 12.
Half damage.
For 6.
Hey guys, I gotta go. I gotta go with my wife. She's going to go look at a scooter for her dad. And she's
Okay.
gonna meet the dude at a storage place, so I'm gonna go with her just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, good call. All right,
Alrighty.
I'm sorry. Today's
No
been
problem.
busy.
no problem, man.
I feel bad because I haven't played in 6 weeks. Has it been like that long?
It's only been 2 weeks, I think, since you played, or since you couldn't play. But the week before that is when my mom's funeral was, and then I think maybe the week before that we played. So it's been like 3 weeks, yeah, at least.
As I just slammed my alcoholic drink.
Yeah.
Can I yell out something now, or do I have to wait till my turn?
No, you can yell something.
Guys, I think we need to leave. And now.
All right, he misses, the half dragon misses Gore with his second attack. And
Does
it's
14
Warren's
hit the dragon?
turn. No. I will, let's see, I'll make the decision for Warlin to, I guess he will disengage over to here. Right? Yes. That would be the most advantageous. And Julianne, was that roll for your this turn?
No, that was for the dragon walking right next to me.
Oh, good. Good. Looking out. Although he didn't leave your threat range.
It's when you leave the square.
I think it's if you
as
leave.
far as I know.
Yeah, it's if you leave the threat range. So he'd have to move like 10 feet away from you. I think.
Each square as far as I know.
Okay.
Which would be 2, but I'm only gonna do 1 because I can only have 1 reaction.
Yeah, I'll look it up later. I'm 99% positive he's got to leave your threat range.
Threatened square, I believe is how it's worded.
All right, well, it's a miss.
Okay.
All right. Yulara?
Well, anyway, did you skip my turn?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
It's your turn.
Okay.
That's a hit.
It's on the dragon guide.
All right, he is really not looking very good at all. All right, Yulara.
Okay. I'm gonna wipe the blood from my face, and can I do cure wounds on myself?
Yes, you can.
I'm
And
gonna
you can cast it at. I think you can cast it at a higher level. I think if you want to. I'm not sure what level it is.
have it at level 1, so.
Alright, you heal for 5. Ander?
Okay, Ander's going to Ander wants to run. And he wants all the party to run with him. Ander's gonna go with what worked last time. It's time to break out the spiritual weapon. I need a mace, good sir, that I can have control over.
Alright.
And I want to place the mace right here to start. And that mace is going to attack this person right here.
Alright, you should be able to control it.
$10 versus AC.
That is a miss.
Then as its bonus action, it's going to slide around here and hit right here. Hit the half dragon.
Okay.
Ooh,
That hits and crits.
for 15 force damage. You see this platinum colored mace appear out of nowhere next to whatever this creature is. It swings wildly, but then follows up by spinning directly around him and follows up with a resounding thud, and platinum colored sparks fly as it thuds into the half dragon creature.
Thuds right into its head, completely collapsing it and disintegrating it as the half dragon, headless now, falls to the floor.
Woo!
Alright, Gore.
I didn't even have to lift a finger. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep attacking this guy.
Or how bad are you hurt?
I'm good.
Cool.
Alright, that's going to miss. And let's see. I should have put the marker on. I forgot which one was confused. Which one critical failed. I think it was the one next to Gore.
Yep.
All right. The creature doesn't move or take actions this turn. Okay. The one up here by Julienne will attack. 11, that's not going to hit. And this guy will run up into the fray and attack Warlin. And miss.
Such a cute doggy.
All right, and
Cute's not
Warlin,
exactly the word I would give it, but okay.
having missed, Warlin will attack him with his short sword. And fail. Okay. He gets to re-roll as a 1 on his next damage roll. Alright. Julienne.
Julian's feeling a little bit better about herself now that the scary guy's gone. She's gonna just make a stew.
And that's a definite hit. Alright. Ilara. Feeling a little bit better now.
Yeah, a little bit of one of the dashes on my left has kind of started to heal up, but I still don't feel like I'm much good to anyone. However, maybe from back here I can do. What's the deal with magic? Can you do another spell or no? You can only do one.
You have a number of let go of your button. You have a number of spell slots per day. Per level. That should be on your character sheet.
Oops, I think I've updated it. We're level 2.
Yeah, it should. All of that should be right. I filled all that out.
I can only do 2 today.
You can only do 2 level 2 spells. I think you can do 4 level 1 spells. And you just did a Cure Wounds, so now you've got 3 level 1 spells left.
I can't do that from this far back.
I'm not quite sure what that does, but I'm pretty sure that, yeah, you have to be in melee range for that to work. But it just sets your melee weapon on fire. I think. Let me look it up. Does it have a description written? Does it have a description written? Oh, there we go. Range self. Yeah, you have to be in melee range for that.
Go on up there. I'll heal you once I get up there. Now that my mace is in play. Go on and get up in melee range. I'll heal you once it's my turn. Now that my spiritual weapon is here. Does she get to keep that same roll, or do you want her to re-roll?
No, you can keep the same roll.
Yeah.
And
My
that's
blade
that's
fire.
it. Oh, 3d6. Okay. And Ander.
Alright, as my turn, I'm going to move up here. That's my move. My action is to cure wounds on Yulara.
You were
7
correct
hit
about
points
the
healed.
opportunity attack.
Do what?
Thank you.
And my spiritual weapon, as my bonus action, is going to hit this one right here. $17 versus AC.
That's a hit.
11 force damage.
Alright, this guy is looking extremely shaky, as well as the one down by Warland is looking not too great either.
And as my mace's bonus action, it is going to move up here. Because I looked, it does have to move before it can hit again.
Okay.
And it's going to hit this one right here.
Oh, it gets two. So you get an action, and it gets 2 actions per turn.
I get an action, and controlling it is a bonus action, and it has a bonus action to move another 20 feet and attack another target.
Okay, so it can only attack the second time if it moves 20 feet.
If it moves up to 20 feet, but it has to move.
Gotcha.
And it has to attack a separate target.
Gotcha. All right.
So it's going to attack this guy right here.
Man, that is a really good spell.
You're damn right it is. 12 versus AC.
Unfortunately, it just barely misses him. Since it's a new
And
spell,
that
you're
is
still
it.
trying to get the hang of how to control it. All right. Gore. Still raging.
No.
Oh, does rage only last 1 turn?
1 minute, so 2 turns with this many people.
No.
Well, no. One whole round takes 6 seconds. So
Oh, really?
10 of your
Yes.
turns it lasts.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes, I guarantee
Oh,
you.
Yep.
Okay then.
1 round takes 6 seconds, not 1 turn. Doesn't
Oh.
matter how many
Everyone's
people there
acting at the same time.
Got it. All right. Well then, this would only be my.
are. You'd still be on
You're
your
at
original
12
rage.
seconds right now, Bob.
Yeah. All right. Let me see. I'm just gonna attack this guy again with my pike
Okay.
for like the 5th time or something.
Yeah. Stabby.
9 damage plus 3, so 12 damage.
All right. You skewer him right through the eye. It comes out the back of his head, and he slides off, lifeless, tongue lolling out.
All right.
You can move if you want.
Yeah, I don't need to move.
Okay. This guy will go for Julian yet again. 18. That will hit.
Yep.
I really should have made it. You know what? For 9.
Okay.
And this guy will go for Gore. 23 will hit. For 4. All right, and Warlin will stab at the guy in front of him. And I shouldn't roll for other people. That's 2 critical fails in a row.
Keep this in mind, everybody.
Yeah, don't
If
be
you miss a
gone.
night and Ryan has to play you, will
You may
crit
die.
fail a lot.
Alright, where's my critical fail table? What did he roll? A 12.
Wicked backswing. You strike yourself with a backswing and take 1d8 damage.
Good, he stabs himself.
Oh, we always knew he was moody.
Yeah.
Where
He
do you
thinks
see
he's-
that?
Huh?
Oh, never mind. I see it.
Oh, good, only 1 damage.
Paper cut.
Yeah. He nicks himself. You can't tell if he did it on purpose just to look tough. He's gonna have a nice little scar above his eye. Alright, Julian.
Julian's getting rather tired at this point and just wants to end the battle.
Yeah. The guy in front of you is looking pretty hale and hearty. But you nail him in the chest. Oof. Ilara. Still, you remember it's a concentration spell, so until you take damage or cast another spell, you've still got that flame blade.
So this guy is still.
That guy's still alive, and this guy's still alive. I can't hear you.
I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna whack him with my flame blade. What I
Alright.
want to do for that?
Let's see.
Like treat it like a quarterstaff.
Yeah,
Yes,
just attack normally. Except, yeah, so it'd be. So it'd actually be 1d20 plus your strength modifier. Since it's not like a finesse weapon. Or I wonder if it'd be your spell cap. Nah, it's a melee attack, so 1d20 plus your strength, which I think is maybe 1. Okay, that's a miss. So your little red glowing lightsaber doesn't quite connect. Alright, Ander.
Alright, Ander is going to move. Let me ask this: who's really hurt?
I think Julian and you are doing the worst right now.
Okay, then I'm just gonna back off. I'm gonna whip out my light crossbow as my movement action, and I'm gonna fire a bolt at this guy right here.
Okay. Alright.
2 piercing damage.
That's a hit. It just kind of sticks in his shoulder.
Alright, and then magic mace time. Hitting this guy here. (14 versus AC.
Vroom.
I don't know if that's a hit or a miss.
Nails him in the head.
For 12 force damage.
Yeah. He is both these guys are starting to look pretty worse for the wear. And is it gonna
And it's going to move down here and attack this guy right here.
Alright,
And
that's
whoosh.
yes. That's a whoosh. And Gore.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like reverse stab the guy behind me.
Okay.
If you can flip around a pike like that.
Yeah, you just kind of like stab one guy and then like flip it back over your shoulder and stab back over there. Catch-
15 damage.
Catch that guy in the cheek, and he like his eyes roll back in his head, and he's like barely standing on his feet.
Barely.
Barely standing. But he's still conscious enough to try and return fire. Return swingy fire with his great axe at your back. 18 versus AC.
That hits.
For 12 damage.
6 damage.
6 damage. And the other guy will keep having his mano-a-mano duel up here with the half-orc chef.
Oh no! Don't kill me.
Ander asked for healing last turn.
And I told him.
You did what? I asked for healing. I heard nothing from anybody.
Yeah.
No, you Ryan said I was hurting. I remember it.
Yeah, I said you and Julianne are the lowest right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't tell me anything. I just... Everybody could be at full health, and you and I could be 3 hit points off. And you
Roll
say,
roll
"Oh,
damage, Ryan.
man."
Roll damage.
Julian's unconscious. 13.
AC?
No, 23 versus AC.
Oh, then yeah.
For
I'm
for
down.
13 damage.
I'm down.
All right. Maybe I'll not critically fail Warland's roll this time. Not a critical fail, but not a hit either. All right, Julian, aka
I'll roll
Death
a save.
Save. That's a fail.
Can I use inspiration on death saving throws?
Do you still have one? Yeah, you can.
I'll save it.
Okay. All right. Ilara.
Well, I'm
Your
gonna
flame
look at
sword-
Julian, and I can I do anything to help?
Well, I mean, you got cure wounds.
I'm gonna do it.
I think you got a couple of healing spells.
I have 3 other ones from level.
So you can do any of that. Just remember to mark off your spell uses. You've used both of your level 2s today, I think, or one level 1 and one level 2.
I have them up there in the spell slots.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah, just make sure that you tick it down one number every time
Yeah.
you use the spell.
Well, no, it says like there's a used category, so I did that.
Okay, however you want to do it. All right, Julian returns to consciousness with 7 HP.
Cool beans. Thanks,
your
Don.
Your flame blade goes away, and you can move if you want.
I'll stay.
Ander.
I'm gonna take my light crossbow, load another bolt, and fire it at this guy.
All right.
16 versus AC.
That is a hit and a kill.
And then the mace is gonna move back up to here and attack. $17 versus AC.
That is a hit and a kill. So
Cool
just
beans.
whoop, crossbow bolt comes out, sticks the first guy in the head, who just flops back against the wall. The mace just goes spinning wildly through the air and clocks the other guy in the head, kind of turns his head, snaps his neck, and he falls down deader than the proverbial doornail. So you see the room is fairly large, cut out purposefully in parts, but also purposefully part of the natural cave. There is a staircase leading down your right, and in the upper northwestern corner, there's another staircase. And in the northeastern corner, there is a small chest on the ground at the base of a very ornately carved statue of Tiamat. And lining the walls around the statue are very ornately carved frescoes and bas-reliefs of dragons. But you can tell that the black dragons are given kind of special attention, and some of the black dragons that are carved into these frescoes, their heads kind of poke out and face inwards towards the middle of the room.
Be careful there, Gore.
I'm gonna try
Maybe we
kicking
should
open
have
the chest.
Warland just check it out.
Too late, I already tried kicking it open.
Okay, hold on just a second. Okay. As you kick open the chest, you hear kind of a clicking sound and a hiss, and emanating from all of the mouths of the black dragons carved into the frescoes, this kind of green gas just shoots right out onto your face and begins to cloud the room. Let's see, from where you all are standing, Yalara and Gore, make a dexterity saving throw. Okay. Okay, so Gore, you'll take 11 points of acid damage, and Yalara, you will take 6 points of acid damage. Very quickly, the room fills up with gas, and I'd like everyone in the room to make a Constitution saving throw. Okay, let's see. And it looks like... Is there only 4 of us? Oh, Ander, what's your con save?
My con save?
Yeah, everyone in the room. The room filled up with gas from the acid. So
My bad.
Yalara and Gore took direct acid damage, and the rest of it is kind of inhaled. It's a Constitution save.
Oh.
Okay, so everybody but Ander, it kind of stings your nostrils, but you're able to muscle through the powerful gas that's created by these dragon heads. And Ander will take...
Say that again. How much damage do I take? What now?
I'm sorry. I'm rolling it. 15.
Ah, crap.
And for future reference, you may want to use the save button on the main page.
Oh, what did
or
I
not.
do?
You used the unskilled con instead of the saving throw. You may or may not have a save proficiency.
I mean, if you've got a save proficiency, it would only add 2.
It wouldn't have helped anyone.
It wouldn't have helped, but for future reference, that's the button you'll want to push.
Yeah.
Alright, so minus 15 hit points, huh?
Yep.
I'm gonna say, guys, I hate to ask this, But can we take another hour?
As you all are discussing that, inside the chest, you find a string of pearls and a sapphire ring and a handful of what look to be highly polished and very valuable gems. So since Gore opened the chest, if you want to take that stuff, you can put it in your inventory.
Sure. Give it to me one more time. What was it?
A string of pearls, a sapphire ring, and a handful, we'll say 10 gems. Now, in order not to make you guys, in order not to make you have to go like to a bank and do all this stuff and change everything out, that's going to be a total of, I can't even read, 1,800 gold.
Alright. Do I still have to carry this stuff, or are we considering it as if we had traded it?
Since you're not going to buy anything before the next time you're in a town or really need gold, then yeah, you can just write down the gold value. That's one thing I don't really like to mess with too much, is like, I've got 18 gems and 3 candlesticks. How much do I trade them in for? Like, just take the gold. So yeah.
That's your job, Mark. Write it down. Or sorry, Andy.
You're the one carrying it there, son. You want to bring it over to me? Be more than, yes, I will keep it.
Fine.
Alright, so Ander, 1,800 gold to the community bank.
Oh, you're actually doing it? Okay. I'm gonna
That's
ask
how we
if
agreed to do this.
I'm gonna ask if everybody's okay with me adding one of the gems to my alms box
No.
for the needy.
No.
Okay.
Depending on what color it is.
It doesn't matter, just anything, just a simple tithing.
Warland votes yes, since you've kind of started to convert him to believing that Bahamut is real.
You can take that from your own share.
That is fine. When we go to town next, I will put this in my alms box. I thank you, sir.
One of the gems would be worth 100 gold.
All right. So I've got 1,800 gold in gems in my inventory.
Well, yeah. 300 of it's a pearl necklace, 900 of it's a sapphire ring. But it totals out to 1,800 gold, and you can take 100 of that and put it in your alms box.
Okay, we'll do.
So, we're in this room. The clouds of acid are starting to dissipate. Ander wants to take another hour-long rest. It doesn't seem like anything necessarily is happening at this time of day. It's sometime in the, mid-afternoon.
I'd like to take a closer look at the dragon statues. The ones that looked nicer than the other ones.
Okay. You can clearly see that each dragon has a hole in its mouth where some sort of liquid might be spewed from. The acid that you just got spewed with.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's just carved into the stone very, very ornately.
I recommend east from my awesome directional skills. But clearly Jillian doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about.
I'm still gonna push for just another hour.
Does anyone
Yeah.
object to taking an hour rest?
Julian doesn't.
Okay.
object,
You all rest.
But she watches the door.
Okay. Now another hour passes with no seeming interruptions, so you can spend any more hit dice that you want.
Yeah, Anders gonna get those 15 hit points back by channeling divinity onto himself. Much obliged to all of you. In which direction should we head?
Julian votes east.
Yulara, I'm gonna say just a perception check. Okay. From the way that the floor looks, you can tell that this is the room you heard the male voice coming from when you were standing on the stairs as a cat. And from the curvature of the hallway and the number of stairs and everything, you can tell that the staircase that you were standing on is the one to the northwest.
Let's go east.
Why should we go east?
Well, when I was a kitty, I came down this way to investigate what sounded like draconic whisperings, and one of those big baddies chased me off before I could see anything. And I can tell you that what lies that way is just another way into the main cave. So it would be a way out. It rejoins itself back up to a way out.
And you know that that's the room that's got all the poisonous mushrooms in it.
Plus, there's poisonous fungi.
Fine, let's go the other way. Alright, I'll take the lead this time.
Okay, this
I
is
don't know.
this is the way she's been.
Yeah.
Oh, that way.
Yeah.
Clearly, you're not
I'm
very
a
good at
little
leading
ticked.
because you just opened this chest.
I'll take the lead.
Julian kind of just pushes him back with force.
Okay.
Yulara, you're better at leading.
Well, I have been here before. Just not
Clearly.
here.
Are you coming, little one?
He scurries up next to you all. As you kind of enter the next room, it's fairly dimly lit, and you can see the room kind of spreads out from the staircase, and off to your right there's about a 15-foot drop into kind of a pit type area. In front of you, you can tell that there are some stairs leading down into the pit from the main upper level that are surrounded by large iron bars that go from the floor to the ceiling that basically cage off the staircase. And there's a door, iron barred door at the bottom of the staircase into the pit.
Wait, hold. I think I see something off to the west.
As soon as
East.
As soon as Julian, hold on just a second. As soon as you get to that position, Julian, you feel something hit you in the side of the head.
Okay.
And you feel yourself, okay, 10-foot burst. So Ander and Julian, you get kind of covered in this really sticky, goopy, kind of light brown substance. as you hear a attack coming off from the east.
Okay.
Do any of us know what it is?
You don't know what it is yet. Everyone... Whoa, crap. Hold on.
It sounds like grease, but it might not be.
It's very sticky. It's not slippery. It's like sticking your
Oh.
fingers together. Everyone roll initiative. Warlin.
What?
Oh, hold on. I'm doing more things than I can handle. There we go. Okay, you hear this kind of screaming attack that clearly sounds like kobolds. You've heard their voices many times before at this point, coming from the east. Gore is up first.
I guess I'm gonna run over there. That's my turn.
All right. Ander?
Ander is going to move. And it's going to cast a cantrip of Sacred Flame on this guy right.
Okay. I screwed up. Okay. Yeah, the sticky stuff just barely caught you, so you're not fully engulfed in it, either of you. It was kind of a bad shot. Okay, so it needs to make a DC 13
DC
dex
13
save.
dex to save.
Right. It succeeds.
And nothing happens.
Okay. And
That's it.
yeah, from where you are, you can see that they're all kind of huddled down in a separate pit that's not quite as deep. It's about 10 feet down. And you see 4 kobolds huddled in there together. They obviously were, well. Alright, Julian.
Julian is curious about this place. Does it have any purpose? I'm just confused. Did it seem like the thing that hit me came from where these kobolds are?
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that.
Oh, okay. So maybe we just don't need to be here. Maybe we can just go away. I'm just gonna walk away.
Okay. You find it slightly difficult to move because you're covered in some sticky substance, but you walk away no problem. Let's see. Warlin move up to here. And Yalara.
Can I see anything from where I'm standing, like in the pit?
You see some chunks of like carcass. It looks like there's some meat that has been thrown down into there, and several kind of half-eaten. It looks to be half-eaten carcasses of goats, and there's a horse and even half of one of those guard drakes down kind of right in front of you, right below you. Other than that, it's that you can see some pillars that are holding up the ceiling, but that's about it. You can tell that it's pretty large. I can't tell what you can actually see on your screen.
I see a thing. Oh, not anymore. Well, the reason I asked is I saw some kind of weird thing, but it's gone now.
Yeah, you think you might have gotten a glimpse of something moving in the shadows, but you couldn't tell what it was.
Okay. Okay, well, anyway, I'm gonna turn away from that and go help. I can't shoot from this far away, I've gotta get closer.
You could shoot from that far away, your bow has range, but you can't see down into the hole.
No, I mean at the kobolds.
You can't see down into the hole that the kobolds are in.
Okay. I almost fell off the edge. Okay. But I moved closer, but I guess I can't do it.
I mean, you can move 30 feet.
I did.
You moved like 10 feet.
Yeah.
Am I covered in poop?
It does not appear to be poop. It has no discernible smell.
Okay.
Lucky you.
I wondered if that's what it was. Okay, am I close enough to shoot?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try again.
Okay. All right, that just barely flies over the kobold's head. And as your arrow goes flying over their heads, you hear them call out, kind of much like Jawas, like "Aiya!" And Ander, you get pelted with a make a dex save.
Some of them do it right. Not that it helps.
Yeah, you miss. The kind of clay sphere comes and crashes against your armor, and it explodes into kind of fiery, a ball of fire. But it's most of the damage is kind of shrugged off. You only take 1 fire damage. And make another dex save. And Yalara, make another make a dex save. All right. Okay, you are both restrained. A much larger kind of pot of the same kind of brown sticky substance crashes on the floor and splatters all over both of you, and it's so sticky that you're kind of stuck to the floor.
All right.
As let's see, 5, 10. This guy's gonna move to here, and this guy's going to move to here, and he will attempt to stab you with a short sword or a dagger.
Are those not like 15-foot walls as well?
They're 10 feet.
Okay.
So it's, wait, hold on, 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah. They should be able to make it to there. The wall over here is 10 feet.
Okay. I just figured it was more like a prison.
It looks more like they heard you coming and were lying in wait to throw bombs and stuff at you.
I see.
I gotta write bigger. Okay, 5 damage, Ander, from the dagger attack. Alright, Gore.
He scored more than 16?
Huh? He got a 21.
Okay.
Alright. Alright, I'm going to rush forward and attack that one.
Okay.
As soon as I can find my character sheet. Okay.
Alright, he just managed to barely dodge out of the way of your pike. Ander, you are considered restrained. Make a strength check. You can use athletics.
No help either way.
Okay, that's enough. You're able to unstick yourself.
And then I'm going to put a mace on the side of this kobold, I'm assuming.
Yes.
I'm going to put my mace up against his face with prejudice.
Alright, you crack him on the side of the face, and he looks pretty badly injured.
And then I'm going to move. No, I'm just going to stay right here.
Alright. Julian.
Julian kind of just realizes his comrades are getting attacked and like shrugs, sigh. We should have just not been here. And steps, I guess, a few feet towards them and throws a kitchen skewer at the nearest target.
All right. Let's see. This one?
The upper one.
The upper
closest.
one.
Yeah.
All right. It gets skewered right through the belly and flies back down with the force, flies back down into the pit from whence it came. Let's see. Warlin will step up to here and throw a dart at this guy. Hello? Okay, there it goes. Alright, and just skewers this guy right through one ear and out the other. And it falls down dead. Ylara.
I'm gonna... Oh! Is it a strength check that Andrew used?
Oh, sorry. I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot about that. Yeah, you're stuck. You're going to need to make a strength check to get unstuck. Yeah, this stuff is really sticky. You're fighting against it.
I can't do anything.
You can't move. You can take an action. I think.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
Hold on, let me check restrained. Yes, you can attack, but you have disadvantage.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try to short.
You're gonna try and what?
I'm gonna try short bow this guy.
Okay. All right. You nail him right through one of his eyes, and your arrow kind of sticks out. And he's blinded in one eye and screams out in pain. But he's not quite down yet, and he will return fire with a fire bomb. And let's see, Gore and Yalara make a dex save. Okay, you both managed to kind of, you're both standing in line like this, and you both manage to go whoop as the firebomb just goes right through both of you and cracks on the ground at the top of the stairs, ineffectual to everyone. And this guy will start to climb out and come right here and take a swipe at Ander. Uh, 19 versus AC.
That hits.
For 3 damage. Gore.
Yeah, I'm gonna retaliate with my pike against that guy.
All right.
Six damage.
All right. He opens his mouth to scream, but gets a pike through the throat instead. El Dedo. Ander.
Alright, so that one being dead.
You see this one still huddling kind of in their little hidey hole where they plan this ambush from, and he's kind of starting to shake in his boots, and he's holding this little dagger with with both hands in front of him. His eyes are wide with fear at this point.
I cast Sacred Flame on him.
Okay.
DC 13 dex. Save.
He makes it.
Dang it. Then I'm going to go ahead and move back.
All right. Julian.
Can I perceive this mounds of brown in the corner?
Mounds of brown in the corner.
Southeast.
Make a perception check. I mean, you can tell that the surface of the bottom of the pit is kind of bumpy, and there are some different mounds and different pillars and different things, but you can't make anything out necessarily.
Okay. Can I throw something at it?
Yeah, absolutely. Since it's supposed to be pretty much dark.
Derp.
You can roll initiative. So I'm gonna say make it at disadvantage, since you can't really see what you're throwing at.
Well, it's out of my range anyway.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a disadvantage anyway.
It's supposed to be out of.
11 for 4 damage.
No, that misses.
Okay.
Alright. Let's see. Warland's going to try and dart the last guy hiding down in the small pit. And he is going to... I can't see the edge of my screen. He's going to kill it. So with a small gasp of "Ah!" the last kobold is slain. So you're left alone in this room. Yalara saw some kind of mutilated carcasses down at the foot of the western side of the pit.
We see the stairs leading down into
You see the stairs, but they're surrounded by a cage of iron bars that go from the floor to the ceiling.
Okay.
Maybe there's a reason there's bars.
Yeah, I've got a cantrip that'll like let us see all the critters around.
What is this cantrip?
Yeah, read it to me. Push your button down.
Wait, okay, never mind. Maybe. I think it's called Fairy Fire.
Hold on.
Oh no, it doesn't say. Okay. Basically, it says each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in violet light, includes any creature who fails a dexterity saving throw. So is this for combat only?
No, you can cast it anytime.
So we could do that, and we could just see
In a
what all's down there.
20-foot cube.
Or is
Yeah,
that not worth it? I don't know.
you can do that if you want to.
Or do y'all just want to walk up to it and see?
I suggest that we be careful approaching this. There might be something caged in here for a reason. I'm assuming that's what you're wanting to do, is come down into here. Personally, I'd like to go see if we can't collect some alms from these bodies before we proceed. In other words, Warland, ensuring that the coin goes to the correct dragon.
Yeah, I mean, feel free to search the bodies.
I'm gonna search them too for those clay shells they have. Are there any more?
Yeah, you find on one of the kobolds you find 2 glue bombs, and on another kobold you find 2 fire bombs.
Nice.
And let's see, the firebomb, both of them require a DC 11 dex save. The glue bombs will restrain anybody that fails that, and the fire bombs will do 1d4 fire damage to anybody who fails that. Successful saves don't really have any. Nothing happens.
Wait, what happens on the firebomb?
1d4 if they fail their dex save.
Oh, okay. What happens if I accidentally crush them?
I guess you'll have to make a dex save.
Or 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so like while they're doing that, I'm Can I? Are we taking turns? No.
Taking what?
Are we taking turns?
No, you can. We're out of combat. You can just do anything you want.
I want to cast this fairy fire because I can do it up to 60 feet.
Okay.
And I want to look into the pit and see if we can figure out what's down here.
Okay. Click on the square that you want to center the radius over. So it's a 20-foot cube.
Well, but isn't that there is no like? Okay, I'll do.
It's gonna be 4 by 4 squares.
Yeah.
Click again. So here.
Further down.
Well, you center it in the center of a square.
I know, but
4 by 4. Okay, sure.
So
Okay.
it should outline in kind of a violet light any objects or creature. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. From where you're standing, you see 2 very large stalagmites coming up out of the ground. And let's see here. It doesn't allow you to see through objects, does it? Okay. And actually, you'd probably be able to see the edge of this guy. You can see something kind of moving in the shadows, kind of behind the one of the stalactites, and you see part of an outline, and it looks like a one of the guard drakes, the small dragon-like creatures that you've seen these cultists use before. And so, let's see. I'm pretty sure that's all you can see. So you centered it right here. Yeah, that's all you can really discern from there. But it doesn't appear to be moving or anything. It's just, you can kind of see the back part of one of its legs and its tail.
Well, I'm gonna call out to everybody. I think there's a guard drake in here.
All right. How far down is this pit?
15 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna...
Hold on. Don't do what I think you're about to do. Don't go running down in there. We may not be able to get you back up.
Don't tell me what to do. I jump off.
All right, hold on just a second. All right, where are you at now?
I guess I'm over here.
Okay.
According to the picture.
Okay. Yeah, you can see that. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you can see because I don't know how far your dark vision is.
We could have seen them. We could have seen them as soon as we entered the room.
Okay.
Well, I mean, on the screen, but you know, game-wise, I don't know.
Right. Yeah, so you can see, once you come down into here, you can pretty clearly see that there are 2 very large, probably 4 feet tall and about 2 feet wide, egg-shaped spheres. And you can see that kind of camped out behind one of the stalactites is one of the guard drakes. And you see just faintly another one in the very far back corner of the room.
Okay.
And you can tell that they're kind of starting to stir.